My name is Margaret Campbell, and I need your full attention. If you served this country and received a disability benefit from Veterans Affairs Canada at any point between 2003 and 2010, you may be owed money and the government isn't going out of its way to find you. This isn't a new program or some kind of lottery, it's a correction payment for a specific accounting error made by VAC in its own calculations. For 8 years, the cost of living adjustments on disability pensions were miscalculated, resulting in thousands of veterans being underpaid. While VAC did issue a round of automatic correction payments years ago, the word automatic is no guarantee of infallible. The system is complex, communication has been poor, and the onus is now on you to uncover a truth buried in a decade of bureaucracy. This isn't a potential issue. It's a real financial oversight, and failing to act could mean you're leaving money on the table that you earned through your service and sacrifice. Many veterans who hear this might think, "That can't be me," or "I'm sure they would have contacted me." That is precisely the assumption the system's inertia relies on. Perhaps you received a small, unexplained government deposit years ago and thought nothing of it. Or maybe you moved, changed your banking information, or simply fell through the cracks of an imperfect process. For veterans who have passed away, their estates are often completely unaware that this money is owed, and it will never be claimed. This is not charity. It is your money, a retroactive adjustment for a debt owed. The problem is, the window to easily verify this isn't open forever, and the system is not actively hunting you down to ensure you got paid. It demands your proactive attention. In this video, I will provide you with the clear, step-by-step intelligence you need to cut through the red tape, verify your status, and claim every single dollar you are rightfully owed. For years, I've dedicated my professional life to one single mission: helping Canadian veterans and their families navigate the often frustrating maze of government benefits. It is crucial you understand that I am not with Veterans Affairs Canada or any other government department. My sole purpose is to be on your side, to act as your translator and your advocate. I spend my days decoding the complex rules, the technical jargon, and the buried clauses into plain English and clear, actionable steps. I have seen firsthand, time and time again, how easily deserving people can be overlooked by a system that is complex by design, not by accident. My purpose on this channel and in this video is to arm you with the specific, targeted information the system doesn't broadcast, ensuring you are never left in the dark about what you have rightfully earned. We are not talking about finding loopholes or trying to game the system. We are talking about your fundamental rights and ensuring the promises made to you are kept. The government did announce this 2003 to 2010 correction payment, but the critical details were buried in technical language and quiet announcements. They were not shouted from the rooftops. I am here to be your revealer of that truth, to make certain that you have the precise tools to verify if you were affected by this error, and, if so, to claim every single dollar that is owed to you for your service and your sacrifice. You've already done the hard part. My job is to make this next part simple, clear, and successful. You deserve nothing less than full accountability and the financial peace of mind that comes with it. To get to the bottom of this, we need a clear plan of attack. In this video, I'm going to arm you with 3 critical pieces of intelligence. First, we will break down exactly what this 2003 to 2010 payment correction is, who is most likely to be eligible, and precisely why the error happened in the first place so you can assess your own situation. Second, I will show you the exact methods to verify whether you have already received this payment, or if there is still money sitting in a government account with your name on it. This is the crucial step where many people get confused or give up, and I will make it simple. And third, and most importantly, I will provide a step-by-step action plan for what to do if you believe you are eligible but have not been paid, including the powerful and completely free resources available to help you make your claims successfully. You have done the hard part by serving this country. Allow me to make this next part as straightforward as possible for you. But before we dive into the first piece of intelligence, I need you to take one small action that makes a huge difference. Please take a moment to click the subscribe button below and ring that notification bell. I release vital financial information for Canadian veterans and seniors every single week, and you do not want to miss an update that could be worth thousands of dollars to your family. The rules of these government programs are constantly in flux, and subscribing is your first and best line of defense to ensure you are never left in the dark again. Now, let's get started. So let's break down exactly what this payment is. It is not a new benefit or a grant you need to apply for. It is back pay, plain and simple. It is money you are owed because of a specific mathematical error made by Veterans Affairs Canada. Between January 1st, 2003 and December 31st, 2010, the formula 5AC used to calculate the annual cost of living adjustments, the indexing for disability benefits under the Pension Act, was incorrect. In short, they were underpaying thousands of veterans. The error was small each year, but compounded over 8 years, it adds up to a significant amount for many. This money is a non-taxable lump sum, meaning it is not considered income by the Canada Revenue Agency, and it will not affect your eligibility for other income-tested benefits like the Guaranteed Income Supplement or provincial supports. It is simply the government correcting its own math mistake and settling a debt it has owed to you for over a decade. The group most likely to be affected includes any veteran who is receiving a disability pension under the Pension Act or certain related benefits like the Disability Award at any point during that 2003 to 2010 window. If you started receiving your pension before 2003 and it continued through that period, you are in the core group. If you first applied and were granted benefits between those years, you are also in the core group. The amount of the correction payment varies from person to person, depending on the level of your disability assessment and for how many years you were receiving benefits within that specific time frame. For example, consider someone we'll call Robert, a 75-year-old veteran living in Halifax who has been receiving a 20% disability pension since 1998. His payment would be calculated based on that 20% assessment over the full 8-year period, potentially resulting in a payment of several $100s. For a veteran with a higher assessment, the amount could be in the thousands. This is why understanding this specific issue is so critical. This isn't a vague "you might be owed money" claim. It is a known, documented, historical error that VAC itself has acknowledged and acted upon, albeit quietly. It's a settled matter of fact. The payment exists to make veterans whole for a specific period where the system failed to keep pace with the cost of living as it was legally required to do. However, knowing that the error happened is only the first step of the mission. The real challenge, and where many veterans get stuck, is confirming whether you personally were part of the automatic payout or if you were missed. Simply knowing you are eligible is useless if you don't know how to check your file correctly. And the way VAC sometimes labels these payments can be incredibly confusing, which is exactly what I will show you how to deal with next. So how do you know for certain if you received this money? We cannot simply rely on memory or the government's claim that most payments were issued automatically. The first step is to conduct your own forensic audit. I need you to think back to the years after 2018. Did you receive an unexpected government deposit or a check with a vague description that you couldn't quite place? If you're not sure, the most reliable method is to go digital. If you have a MyVAC account set up online, and I strongly recommend you do, log in and meticulously review your payment history. You are looking for a one-time payment that might be labeled Pension Act Correction, PA Correct, or a similar, nondescript descriptor. The passive system will not send you a reminder. It is your responsibility to shine a flashlight into the dark corners of your own financial records and find the evidence yourself. If you are not comfortable online, or if the payment history in your account is unclear, your next step is a direct phone call. But you must be prepared, or you will be wasting your time. Do not call and vaguely ask, "Am I owed money?" That is a recipe for a frustrating and unproductive conversation. Instead, you will call Veterans Affairs Canada at their General Inquiries line, 1-866-522 22122. Have your service number or K number ready. When you speak to an agent, you will state calmly and clearly, I am inquiring specifically about the 2003 to 2010 Disability Pension Calculation Correction payment. Can you please verify if a payment was issued to my file? And if so, can you tell me the date and the amount of that payment? This specific language is critical. It transforms you from a passive questioner into an informed investigator, forcing the system to respond to a known, documented issue. This is where you must be firm. The agent you speak with may not be immediately familiar with this specific decade-old correction. Do not let them brush you off or tell you that, if you were owed money, you would have received it. That is an unacceptable answer. You must politely insist they look up the specific 2003 to 2010 Pension Act correction file as it relates to your account. But what if you've done all this, and the answer is a firm no, there's no record of a payment being issued, even though you are certain you were eligible during that period? Do not give up. That is not the end of the road. In fact, the next step is the most powerful one, and it involves bringing in free, expert reinforcements that VAC is legally obligated to listen to. I'll show you exactly who to call next. All right, let's say you've checked your account and made the call, and you're confident you are eligible, but there's no record of a payment. This is where you must be proactive, because the passive system has already failed you. The first and most important thing to know is that you do not have to fight this battle alone, and you should never, ever pay anyone a fee to help you with this type of claim. Your first call should be to a command service officer at the Royal Canadian Legion. These individuals are highly trained experts in navigating Veterans Affairs Canada, and they provide their services completely free of charge to all veterans, regardless of whether you are a Legion member or not. They will help you review your file, understand your eligibility, and prepare any necessary paperwork to formally inquire with VAC. They are your ground-level advocates, your first line of offense in the war on red tape, and they are an essential resource in your toolkit. If the situation requires more formal representation, there is another powerful free resource at your disposal, the Bureau of Pensions Advocates, or BPA. These are lawyers who are employed by Veterans Affairs Canada, but critically, their mandate is to work at arm's length from the department. Their entire job is to represent veterans in disagreements or disputes with VAC, and their legal counsel is provided at no cost to you. Contacting the BPA and explaining your situation regarding the 2003 to 2010 correction payment brings a level of legal authority to your inquiry that is difficult for the bureaucracy to ignore. Imagine a veteran, we'll call him Bob, who served in the 90s. He's been receiving a small disability pension since 2002. He follows my steps, calls VAC, and is told there's no payment on his file. Instead of giving up, he calls his Provincial Legion Command, who helps him file a formal inquiry. Months later, he receives a check for $1,800 plus interest. That is the tangible result of taking informed action versus passively accepting the system's first answer. This isn't just about recovering a few hundred or a few $1,000s. This is about the principle of the matter. It's about ensuring the system that promised to care for you in return for your service is held to account for its errors. It's about you maintaining control over what is rightfully yours and refusing to be a casualty of bureaucratic inertia. Your actionable step for today is simple. Open a new tab on your browser right now and search for Royal Canadian Legion Provincial Command for your province. Find the phone number for their service officer and save it in your phone. You may not need it for this specific issue, but having that number ready is a critical part of your financial and personal defense plan as a veteran in Canada. Do not let yourself become vulnerable because you don't know who to call when a problem arises. Be prepared, be proactive, and get what you've earned. Let's recap the mission. 1. A documented calculation error from 2003 to 2010 means that thousands of veterans were underpaid on their disability benefits, and this is a debt you are owed. 2. You can and must verify if you were paid by checking your MyVAC account for a Pension Act correction, or by calling VAC directly and asking about this specific issue by name. 3. If you believe you are owed this money and have not been paid, you do not have to fight alone. You must use the free expert help available from the Royal Canadian Legion and the Bureau of Pensions Advocates to press your claim. Do not delay this. Bureaucratic wheels turn slowly, but they can and do grind to a halt. This is about more than just the money. It's about ensuring the system that promised to care for you in return for your service is held accountable for its mistakes. It's about the principle. Please take one final moment to act. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but every single like helps this vital information reach another veteran who might be sitting in the dark, completely unaware of the money they are rightfully owed from their years of service. It helps us build a community of informed and empowered individuals who refuse to be overlooked. This is your money, your right, and your financial peace of mind. By taking these steps, you are not just checking a box, you are securing your financial perimeter and closing the book on a past injustice. Protect your finances, protect your family, and go get what you've earned.